Why am I talking so much about meditation? It's because it's something I love. And the way I love is to show affection, and my love language is making a joke, touching, hugging, telling them I'm beautiful. That's my love language. And why is love language so important? It's important because it makes us unique. And it enables us to show others how we love. There is a very fine line between love and hate. I think this is because they are so strong emotions, both of them. And I think also it has something to do with that a natural way of being a human. If you imagine yourself in the woods, barebacked with no shit on your head, no shit on your bed, and you imagine to yourself that someone in another clan has fallen in love with you and you don't really know it. This is kind of how life works for many people. Many people go years after years not having a relationship or not being able to have a relationship. These people that struggle with a relationship can often see this as their Achilles heel. They can see this as a way that they communicate badly with themselves, or that they have low self-esteem, or are depressed. I can understand that. I can understand how loneliness is a lonely road. But I think that in this situation, if you this situation already had a stable mind of meditation, of practice, then could you imagine yourself in a place able to show compassion, either still, anyway, no matter what? That if someone stabs you with a knife, you lay on the hospital and saying, oh, forgive him because he knows not what he do. I think sometimes people look a lot like ants. Many times, you can't go into a store before your friend have been there, if you never heard about it. Sometimes you're going to taste something, you go, oh, you taste it first. And this is the same for the ants. They do the same. If we now do this together, you're going to focus on some energy. This is a technique that is learned from the Shaolin monks. And I hope it will work for you. We are now going to enforce our chi. So, what we do is that we first of all have to set ourselves in the place where we can do that. So I will straighten my back. I will take this down. Reposition me like this. I will stretch a little bit, get some oxygen into my arms and my body. And breathe. Continue breathing and do like this. And focus on the space between your hands. Feel. You feel it. The feeling you now are creating, if you are having enough concentration, concentrate a lot about this space. This is the chi ball. And what I'm feeling is a little bit tingling when I did it now in my hands, and also a little heat going here. To feel on this energy, it's like a validation. That's how I use it. I use it as a validation of my beliefs. Like, I can feel. You can feel it when you do like this. You can feel the tingling. You can feel the warmth. So, but you cannot see. So this is proof for me that the veil between our dimensions, between living and dead, is very thin. I imagine myself like if you were standing like an unbreakable two-way mirror we could not perceive. Kind of that. On the one side of them, on the other side of us. And I think that's also why we can also communicate. And I think that contacting the dead through ceremony is a little bit like knocking on the glass. Sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. You can see them and you know they are there, but they can't touch you, you can touch them. And then we come to the point of what kind of spirits are around us. We have all kinds of spirits, and it's up to you and me to welcome them into our life. We can use them how we wish to. We can use them for good, for bad, for knowledge, for wisdom, just to feel the presence of a loved one also sometimes. What I as a shaman do when I call on the dead is that I will take my drum and I will drum it in a pretty slow beat, you know, and I will start chanting, and I will chant like Nesope, la åndene komme i vår sirkel. Jeg ønsker alle guder å gi meg visdom. Kom i vår sirkel, her er du velkommen. Oh, and when you're done, you have to remember to shut it down, the circle. You have invited the spirits in. Now we're going to tell them to leave. So I tell them to leave. And I go like this. And by this, I am saying goodbye and I'm closing the circuit for the dead. Og som det lukker jeg nå sirkelen for de døde. Takk for deres samarbeid. And I will fold my hands in respect and bow and thank them that they had the bother to come when I called upon them. This is in the shamanistic how we commute with the spirits.